everyone. Welcome to IGN Plays Live. I'm Miranda Sanchez, and joining me are some very fine folks from Sledgehammer, Cameron Dayton, creative director.
Hello.
And Jay and Guardia off camera, but he's going to guide us through the Tortured Path, the new Zombies DLC map. Very excited because you guys got a lot of really cool Easter eggs in here.
We have got all sorts of hidden things in here.
Yeah, like there's obviously a very straightforward path to finishing this, and I think more so than the other maps is what I've heard, but you said no one solved it yet. But
yeah,
people seem to think they have.
We created, in the Final Reich, in our first map, we created a very obvious casual path and then sort of the more convoluted, mysterious, and slightly evil, hardcore path. And that exists in these maps as well, but we've hidden them both. By the time we're at the DLC 3 like this, we figured there's a lot of stuff that would be cool to just leave for the audience to uncover and solve. And so we've had a lot of people get through and beat the boss, and they're like, yeah, I'm done, and oh, you're so not done. You're so not done. Yeah.
Do you just think you are?
Yeah.
That's the best part too. It's just finding it. I was telling you beforehand, what I like about these zombies maps so much is that if you really want the story, you have to dig in.
Yeah.
And seeing these analysis videos from YouTubers, of course, is just so impressive of them putting all these pieces together, finding all these audio logs, and really putting the story together, and how this one contributes is going to be very interesting.
Oh, well, yeah. It's a lot of fun to. I think there's been. I'm gonna get really philosophical here. There's been an evolution in entertainment and in audiences where. The days of just sitting back in a darkened theater and having a story just dumped on you is a lot less exciting than being actively engaged and a participant in it. I think if you've seen or read Ready Player One, it's shining a light on this. The audience's interest in being an active participant in sleuthing out the story beats instead of being victims to the story beats. And so. We're and the Nazi zombie mode is the perfect delivery system for that. Ostensibly you've got a game where it's okay, survive the waves of zombies, but little by little, uncovering those elements of the story, and then there's a little bit of a Willy Wonka and the Golden Ticket sort of thing going on as well, where it's who is going to be the first in the world? Who's going to be able to get across that mysterious finish line first? It's an adventure. I mean, our team was up till 4 a.m. watching this game and cheering. Now granted, our team, we cheer for the bad guys. We're cheering for the zombies because every time they take down the players that are closest to that Easter egg, it extends the mystery by another hour.
Yeah, for sure. And it's cool seeing the community come together to find out what that mystery is.
Yes.
And so right now I'm just following Jay.
I gotta be honest, that's how I play as well. I think the military term is Jay's on point, but he's also kind of like the mother hen, and will make sure that if you die or even get sad, he'll take care of you. I mean, Jay's a pro.
Thank you, Jay. Please lead us to victory. I think we're looking for something. I actually don't. Hey, Mitchell, I don't have audio. So, yeah, this has been a fun starting wave. But yeah, it's looking through this map. Oh,
I don't know if this was an ambush or just dumb luck.
Finding out where everything is, of course. And I believe we are streaming from Jay's point of view, so you're not going to see me fumbling around looking for stuff.
So you're going to look very, very in charge.
Yes, that's totally me, all me. Then, of course, if you guys are watching, we are on IGN.com, YouTube, Mixer, Twitch, everywhere.
Good use of shovel.
There, perfect. Thank you. Whenever I see somebody use their abilities, I'm just like, all right, are you in trouble, or?
Annihilation. Nazi machinery that trace power to life.
What's going on in these maps? So the I mean, I can answer that narratively, and I can answer
yeah,
that on the
let's
game design
catch
side.
us up on the story
Okay.
here. Like, where are we now?
Okay, so in our last big map, the Shadowed Throne, that was where our zombies story, which has been happening sort of in the shadows of actual history,
Yes.
stepped out into the spotlight. That's where we countered the Russian army's push into Berlin. We ended up saving Adolf Hitler, and the Nazi leadership has now continued on pushing these Nazi hordes across the face of Europe. And that's kind of the intro cinematic sort of touches on that. And so the three pieces to the sword of Emperor Barbarossa, which we've recovered, still need to be moved back down to the one place where they can be combined. To get them there, we've now got to move in this caravan across both war-torn and zombie-torn Europe, and get them safely there. So the fun part of this is it allows us to bring in some of our secret characters that our players have been unlocking over the past year, and give them a voice, give them some actual roles to get these pieces down to our main characters who are waiting to bring them all together. So yeah, it's a lot of fun being able to say, okay, let's now take Europe and some interesting parts of Europe. Like this is our little winery down in northern Spain, Bodega Cervantes, and we're making some progress through this the waves of zombies that are here, and we're getting instructions from Rideau on exactly how to break through and keep that caravan moving. So, and then on the gameplay side, the nice thing about being at this stage in our development process, we felt like, let's be a little bit more flexible here. We've made some very traditional, I guess you could say, zombie maps over the season, and this time there were a couple things that I wanted to play with. The first was one of the things that always kind of been a friction point for me with the traditional zombies mode is, as a survival game, you play until you die, which means you play until you lose, right?
Right.
There's kind of not a happy ending for the traditional zombies map. So I posed the question to the design team, like, what would happen if you could win? How could we set up a game where you could win? So we're like, okay, well, you give objectives, you give, an ending point, a goal point. That would feel good, that you actually fought through and you survived for an extraction.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
And so that was what we were aiming at. And then the other thing that we know, the traditional zombies game is usually a case of, okay, and it's funny, I've had a lot of players saying, here's my stash, I'm ready for the thing. And there are like metric tons of Cheetos and Doritos and other survival food, because it can be hours and hours and hours of a slog to get to an important point in the game.
Right. If you have a good run, I'd like to think that you're at least going for an hour plus.
That's an hour plus is light. Yes.
First run.
Yeah, no.
If we can survive that long and figure out some things, then I feel pretty good about my squad.
Yeah. I've heard discussion of diapers before. I mean, there is a lot of commitment to getting through these things. So the next question was, can we make a game that you can hop in quickly and have a lot of fun, like just right off the bat, And so that means the difficulty ramp up, and then a lot of the players have noticed already, the ramp up is a lot more steep than you've seen in some of the more traditional games, and the objectives, the challenges get incredibly difficult. However, this is the we wanted us to have one chapter in our DLC where it's like, hey, I've got 10-15 minutes. I want to hop in and just have a blast in those 10-15 minutes. And I think this delivers on that. And then the other thing we wanted to see is can we provide variety? Can we provide something where the players were like, hey, I feel like going through a rainy European map, or let's see if we can hop on a ship, or let's see if we can find some. That was a death right there.
Yeah, I was trying to help.
And you didn't revive.
I think I did not die.
No.
Okay, we have an agreement that, sorry, you're saying so many really great things, but once I die, you have to play.
We're doing the trade-off. It's like, yeah. So yeah, we had some unique goals with this, and the design team, I think, just completely hit it out of the park. We've got a very talented crew that was able to put together something that I feel gives a lot of kind of quick and adrenaline-filled fun right off the bat. It's something that gives you a lot of variety that's interesting. And then, of course, I mean, you guys know what we make, right? There are Easter eggs. These levels are just rife with little hidden secrets. And as of yet, at this date, nobody has solved them all.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
still
it's
have the
interesting
mystery.
because whenever I hold Notebook and the other things, like I get these kind of, hey, you have some objectives to complete, but here it's just like, just survive.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
Easter. And I know we have hit on some things that are beyond just surviving.
Yeah, and the community is getting close on some of these. On others, they have not even begun to scratch the surface, which is super fun. And so, just so you know, back at the studio, we actually take bets on how long we think it's going to take for these to get
really?
solved.
What's been the most surprising thing you've seen people solve quickly?
So I was watching a couple crews last night. Couple sort of our reliable streamers, some who got to world's first last time around, made some big progress, and then another group that kind of out of the blue got in on this. And on the next chapter after this, when they're on a ship, there's some interesting hallucinations begin from the Geistcraft energies that are attuned to a wavelength that is affecting kind of the cerebral cortex.
Okay.
And that's my silly narrative excuse for going on a complete, like, tripped out journey into memories of the past that unlock some of the Easter egg elements in that second one. And I was thinking that one would at least be another day before it was solved. And there were a couple crews that they got in and were able to follow. And we left a quite deliberate red herring that
Getting
people
devious.
follow. Yeah, no. And when I say red herring, I mean there was literally a red-colored fish that you had to follow.
Oh, we did it. We did a thing. Oh no, we died.
Well, when you say did it,
We did it.
you well
finished
defeated.
the first
Yes, you were well defeated.
Yeah, we got stuck in some bombs. That's what kept getting me.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
smaller it.
there were a lot of bombers that hit you on that one.
Jake, what happened? I'm following you. Aw.
At point, the Guardian is the easiest of all three bosses.
The Guardian, as far as being the easiest or the hardest, I think that is a difficult statement to make. As far as I've seen some people that have gotten completely stalled out on that boss, and others who are just kind of cruising through. And let's just say that this version of the boss, the one where you haven't solved everything else, he might not be as challenging as the boss later on.
All right.
How's that?
Very good. All right.
We ready for another go?
Yeah. Let's get to the lobby. We're all good to go. Ready up. Let's try it. Do you wanna go?
Let's go.
If
for
you
it.
go, I'm just please solve the mysteries. Please solve a few more. I think we're getting somewhere with that. And it is interesting because there are fewer indicators of whether or not you've solved something. I think maybe that's tripping up some people in the community who are like, there's not a lot here. It's like, no. Keep looking kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and we're, I had people out the gate saying, well, what, are there Easter eggs? Are there no Easter eggs? I'm like, wow, I'm really not going to drop that. I mean, I will give clues if we're like a week into this and nobody's solving it, you know? But, and I'm deliberately not going to go for
Oh, for sure. I know
any
you're
of
not
this
going to
right
solve it
now.
on stream because that takes away from the
Right,
fun.
right.
Like you said, people are getting close. People are figuring things out.
Well, they're getting close to some things.
Some things.
Yeah. I would say we are still a significant portion away from the final solution, to use a historically scary term.
So Sir Ice King on Twitch has a good question. So is this not endless? Like, is there a final round you can't do in this map without solving the Easter egg?
Let's just say I'm not gonna leave you guys without some element of survival here.
Okay.
But you're gonna have to work for it.
All right.
How's that sound?
That's your answer, Sir Ice King. I will go ahead and check a few more questions to bother you while you're trying to play. For people asking when is this out, it's out now.
It's out. It is out.
Play. People asking for a full-on zombies game. I agree. That would be very cool. Let's see how long you guys go this time. I think we did okay. It'd be really nice to have 4 people. Probably the recommended number.
Yeah. Again,
you can do it. You can do it.
And I've been really clear from the get-go. This is a co-op game, and the focus is on it is its most fun. You get more story. You get more of everything if you go co-op. Now, I know there are these intrepid, slayers out here who just love going solo, and we make it so that you can do it solo, but you have got to be hardcore to go solo.
Anytime I play solo, it's mostly just to get like a tour of the map. It's like, what am I looking at? Like, oh, there's a zombie head like lodged in there. Like, what's going on? There's a dead cow. Poor cow. So it's kind of more about like taking that tour and finding out where things are for like recon for the next time we play.
Recon, that's a good way of putting it.
And I think especially with this map is unique in that there's not a lot of barriers to going to new places. It's more about the survival, collecting what you can for here before you move on. And I was just trying to like listen to what they're saying. This is my first time actually getting to see this map. So
going on here than we can see.
we can see. So like there's also those audio indicators that are probably good to listen to if you're playing with other people.
I mean, as in our previous maps, listen to the audio. It's more than just frosting and fluff. Our story plays significantly into the clues and there are things you will have to listen to. And then our canonical story, like what's actually happening in this, requires you to take the default 4 players that are given at the start of each map. So if you've got your favorite one, your favorite character you love to play through, and you're going to switch out, you might lose out on the actual story and on some actual clues. And so I would recommend for while the mystery is being solved, playing through with the canonical characters.
Yes.
And then once you're through and you're ready to just grind for the other elements in this game, then bring in your favorite. Bring in your unlocked. And and as in our other maps, we've got all sorts of fun unlockable special characters, hidden characters as well. Yeah. And I think the community knew that. You've seen the the lines of question marks in the
for sure.
right there. So
I'm waiting for them. It is nice that you're bringing those other that were previously secret characters out for everybody. So if you didn't do all those crazy steps to unlock them early,
exactly.
now you have them.
Well, and there's been a little bit of like the question mark of who are these people? Is that just a silly thing they've been throwing in? And no, I mean the plan from the get-go is that the Bureau eventually is going to, as the undead threat surges, is going to start recruiting across the length and breadth of the Allied forces, looking for those special individuals that have the intellect, the agility, and the strength of stomach to handle an undead force.
Right. Oh no,
like
I hate them
guys.
so much.
The Moilers.
So are the... We didn't get these on my run. At least I didn't see them.
No, every single game you play in this is going to be different. That was one of the fun things we played. We're like, okay, well, if we're going to go with 3 smaller maps, we're going to make sure that they're maps that come with a unique experience on each of the objectives every time. And then we're not even going to let you choose your specific weapon. We're going to force you to...
It's randomized, which is...
Yeah. And so... And so narrowly speaking, we're like, okay, so we've already got our mystery boxes. We've proven that is a thing that can happen. Why don't we take mystery box technology and turn it down into our ammo dumps? And the story is, of course, that these got killed by that ammo dump. The story is that these are
It's definitely a fun way to mix up what we already know.
Yeah. And so the real trick here was, can we make these changes and make them so that they're small and subtle enough that we're not completely losing or confusing or upsetting our loyal buddies playing the game.
There definitely has to be some sort of consistent thing. And the nice thing is that all these enemies we've faced before, I think at least of what we've seen. Who knows what'll happen as you continue on. but having those expected challenges, and I think as we've seen with some of the mysteries, or maybe things we've encountered in previous maps, and like kind of putting all of that together at this point. It's interesting. I'm excited for you guys to make it past this map. Also to figure out.
How are we feeling, Jay? Do you think we're gonna get it this time?
Silence.
He's like, Cameron,
Is that a vote of confidence? Or
I'm
just,
stressing so much trying to
I feel
save your ass.
Yeah, that's a lot of focus there, right? I get it. You gotta be focused when you're playing this. That's
right.
always the hard thing about streaming. If you haven't streamed before, it's just a lot of, wow, there's so much going on, but I also have to have a conversation that's hopefully interesting to everybody watching.
I swear, half the reason people watch is they're like, I bet he's gonna get so distracted, he's gonna say something stupid, and you know, I've done it like 7 times already, so we're good.
You've let out some pretty good information. Like I was kind of watching some of those lore videos for the previous map because I like to get as much of the Easter egg done as I can. I finished, I think, 2 of the 3, or the 2 other maps so far, and getting them done is definitely a challenge.
Oh yeah.
But even once you finish that Easter egg, that's not the whole story.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, I really appreciate those people who really dig into the lore, and they've quoted you quite a bit too.
Yeah, no, it's my favorite. Like I like watching the streamers that it's not just about, okay, this is how you min-max your way through the game and getting it through as quickly as possible. The ones who really look at the, I'm going to use a German word, the Gestalt, the whole package, the whole thing. Because as designers, that's what we try to put together, right? We try to put together something that is appealing and cohesive, aesthetically, narratively, and on the more kind of mechanical design and weapons and everything else like that. Like that's the, I think the art of what we do. If I can be like a little pretentious, but come on.
Yeah, my favorite thing probably. Oh, thank you.
It's funny because a nuke can be like your best thing ever, or can completely ruin your day.
Oh, for sure. Like if you're trying to hold off a wave to complete some challenges, and then someone goes and grabs the nuke.
Finding all these zombie body parts. These guys never clean up after themselves. That was totally not a clue.
And just another quick shout out, guys. We are streaming pretty much everywhere. You can find us IGN.com, YouTube, Mixer, Twitch. If you have any questions, we're also checking Twitter, and that's hashtag IGN Plays Live. If you have any questions, trying to get some more of the mystery stuff. Of course, just making sure it's meant. There's a lot to learn, a lot of good corners and the bad corners you don't want to get stuck in. And then, of course, it's hard to learn because you get new zombies every time. Different kinds of zombies.
That's right. So in a lot of this, like, I think some of the best like zombie players are. There's not one thing you can track it down to. It's not like, oh, it's because they're a really good shot, or it's because they're really good at avoiding zombies. They're creative problem solvers. Like the best zombie players know how to, okay, well, if something else gets thrown at me from another direction, this is how I can spin and turn with that. And so this game is like attuned for that.
Right.
This game is set up for that, where it's like, okay, you don't know which pistol you're going to grab. You do not know if you're going to be battling with moiculars or a Zeppelin overhead, and you better be ready to roll, no matter what gets shot at you. So.
Yeah, it's so much about strategy. It's just like, hey, what if we make that harder?
Yeah.
I'm trying to look over and be like, Jay, what are you doing? What's going on?
He's saving.
He's very in the zone.
Uh-huh.
I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just nodded. It's like, yeah, that's all we get.
Well, and Jay is apart from being one of our more talented designers on the team, he actually comes from the community. We encountered him because he was building custom maps and very much an active part. And so Jay is a lot of time, like I love being a part of the community and being in that, but Jay is a lot of times kind of like my litmus test. If I throw an idea past him and I see he frowns immediately, I'm like, okay, they're gonna hate it. They're gonna hate it. If I can get him to give me one of these little giggly grins, and I'm like, okay, we're in the right spot.
Oh, that's so neat. Definitely a unique way to come up in the design.
We got the Zeppelin up ahead.
There we go.
Hold on. What my favorite map is? You know what? That is such a hard thing to answer because, like, it's a lot like listening to music. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm in I will still be in a mood for the final right, where I'm feeling dark. I'm feeling, there's a lot of pain in the final right, both from our characters and the team that designed it. No, it's just
You go into that more.
well, because we sacrificed a lot to get that game out, and we had to battle a lot against some expectations and thoughts of what it should be. But it's also just like this is where we're dealing with Marie's separation from her brother and the torture that he's gone through, and and Dr. Straub himself is a very tortured individual. But man, right now, I'm loving the tortured path, and that's I know that sounds so marketer, but it's just it felt like it was just sort of the right thing for us, for the community. Ooh, sweet, we got the Tesla gun. Oh, wait, that's not that one.
He's gonna take it first. That's the thing for this is like you get these nice drops, and then it's just like, but who gets what?
Well, and that's the challenge too. That's the debate, is like hard decisions. The best games always give you hard decisions. You know, I'm like, sweet, I do love the Tesla gun, and I fought like hell to get the Tesla gun back in the Final Reich, and now they're just gonna drop it at me. Oh, how could I not take that, even though I've got a way better pack-a-punch gun or something, right?
Yeah.
And these are the decisions.
Oh no.
This is
This is where we all died in that room last time.
Yeah. It is a. We know there are points that we just call lovingly, we call them the urine points in our game, where it's just like this is going to be the kind of fun where you're going to be really worried about keeping it together, and then we've got our breathing points, our space out here. Oh, well done.
Yeah, I prefer to need some breathing room.
Generally, people do, yeah. Yeah, it's one of the weird things. Like as a game designer, you're constantly trying to figure out what is fun. Like, what is the algorithm for fun? What is the math behind fun? And interestingly enough, a lot of it is the counterintuitive. We've got to make some things stressful and worrisome and kind of not fun for them to be fun on the other side.
Yeah, well, when you come into zombies, like it's going to be fun. Oh, that's nice. Same there.
Yeah, just hand it.
Explore bit. Explore bit. No, but that is the fun thing. Is like when you come into zombies, you're here for a challenge. It's not here to just be a simple shooter experience. Like you're here to survive and to work together with hopefully your team who will listen to you. And see as far as you can get. And
I think there's a reason why zombie survival mode, they tend to be the more popular survival modes. Like why isn't it like hordes of rats, or why isn't it? Which, by the way, would be a cool game. But why isn't it? A green jello that's flooding out over you, and we've seen lots of kind of fun, silly, goofy survival modes. But the zombie ones, again and again, tend to be the ones that really draw people. And I think it is because they add that element of our fear of death, our horror, around decomposition and all that, and that adds this very unique element to, and even kind of a different degree of adrenaline to what we do.
I think what I especially appreciate about World War II zombies is that you do take it back to that horror side of it.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate going into space and having a fun time in a theme park, but it's nice to like reel it back in and say, but what if they're scary? Like super scary. I mean, like it's always tense and scary in its own way, but this one is set in that horror. And it's also cool, it's like historical fiction too, because like you guys line it up so well with the history of World War II.
Well, yeah, that was one of our missions, and we felt like, hey, I love what IW did, and Lee Ross and his crew and their kind of zany take on zombies was so perfect for the time, and was so like beautifully put together. But we kind of felt like, I think the community is ready for a little something else. I think the community is ready for a different flavor, and that's the fun thing about having the different studios that can take it. Is we each get to kind of read what our company wants to do, and how it will apply to what the audience is ready for. And my take was very much, I think we're ready to get scary. And luckily, Sledgehammer has a legacy of doing, Dead Space games that have horror and really like on the nose, gritty. Or in there, it's in our DNA, right? And so I was like, well, it's just the perfect pairing with a very serious World War II single player game. Why not take that and go and do a straight up Nazi horror game? We just felt that the community was ready for it, and it was something we were excited about doing.
It made a lot of sense.
That's right.
So now we're going to look at some questions. Senpai Steve asked on YouTube, does the map open up, or are they secluded to this one area for a bit? Yes, you're secluded to this area until you complete the waves. So it is a evolving map, or I guess you move maps. We'll see that pretty soon, I think. We're already on way base. Gotta get through town.
Charging!
Other questions you have, and again, you can tweet them at or tweet them hashtag IGN Plays Live or ask in any of our chats. I've been trying to scroll through them. Well, my hands are off the controller, and then when they're back on, have some chats. I'm gonna check Twitter real fast and see what we got going on. I like watching people when they get like really into playing a game. It's like I know I get the exact same way. It's just like you put the blinders up in a weird way.
Yeah, and as a game developer, you know, like that's how you know you've hit something right. You've hit the right note when you can get into a game that you've made, that you've spent ridiculous hours poring over every little detail, and that you can still feel like, you know what, I don't want to put it down. I kind of lost myself in this and in the moment. You feel like you kind of hit the special moment with that.
Yeah.
Special mark.
Let's see what else we've got.
How are we feeling, Jay?
We
Get to wave 8.
We're at 11:33 already. We stopped. Or I guess we started a little bit late, so we can probably go over just a little bit.
All right.
I'm very excited to see more of this.
Well, you tell me.
Okay, for people asking about who's playing, so the stream is capturing Jay, who's off
Jay is
camera,
playing.
his gameplay, but we are also playing. So there's 3 people on here. We also have Stephen Rue playing, also off camera. So we got a good little team going.
Yeah, and so you wouldn't want to watch my screen. It's mostly me just ducking behind Jay as he does this stuff.
Yeah, so everyone, like, he is playing. It's just you're not watching his screen. This is for clarification. Well, this is beautiful.
So we got our VIZ. We've had some people complaining a little bit about the difficulty of this part. We've got the very important zombie you've got to kill before he gets to his end. And this is a zombie that has been enhanced with all sorts of extra Geistcraft shielding because it's I think Straub realized at some point.
That's why you can shoot him and he lives, right?
Yeah, that he needed some zombies that could take point, and so he's gonna be hard, and you better be pack-a-punched, and it's gonna be a lot more useful to you if you've got your highest damage weapon. Okay, to take him out. And this is a Brenner that's been gifted with exactly that sort of thing, and you better.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he's got. He's got a shield that you don't even have weapons that can take down his shield, so you're really going to need to rely on some external help to break through that. Luckily, the Reaper.
I'm glad you thought to watch first to get a feel for what happened.
Okay, I think our motor is going to hit right there.
Perfect.
That should be taking that shield down.
Nice job, Jay.
There we go. Oh, that stung, didn't it, buddy? Oh, he's not happy. He's not. I'm going to get behind the fireproof wall.
Yeah. The Black Knight asked me what is my favorite map of World War II zombies. I really like the Shadow.
Yeah?
The design was really cool. Yeah.
You know what? Shadow Throne is
super fun too.
Is a favorite, for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody get able to resonate? I'm bleeding. All right.
Yay. Very nice. Good pick up.
Jay, you're a gentleman and a scholar.
Steam, maybe. And for people asking, we are playing on PS4. And for clarification, the DLC is out first on PS4 and then Xbox. Because people are asking about anything like that. Yeah, I keep saying, yeah, Jay, go! Get him! Our secret weapon!
You coming?
Oh. It's a scary town. That's you now.
He's after me. All right.
Perfect.
We can get him to stick right here. Duck, duck. So ducking is not a great strategy when you've got a flamethrower aimed at you, is it?
Yeah, that's a challenge for sure. A little hard to avoid fire like that, I think. Any more questions? Again, if you guys have any questions, we are checking all 3 or 4 chats. 4 whole chats. So, stay with us. Woo! Nice, got the bomb off. It's kind of funny because I'm commentating on your gameplay, but
Yeah, I was
Jay's
like-
the one that's steering. Sorry, y'all.
Jay's will be a lot
It's
more fun.
probably great and confusing a little bit, but. Oh no!
I'm down.
These are so
Jay's
close.
got me. Jay's got me. Okay, he's hurting. He's hurting.
Yeah, he's. I think you guys got this. Have a minute and 15 seconds left. This is stressful.
You got it, Jay?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta dump everything.
Way too much.
Ow.
Oh no!
55 seconds.
Oh,
Got him.
he's so close. Yeah, it's almost worth you, I think, bleeding out at this point to just let them
Yeah, I'm like, you guys got
actually finish him off. Oh my gosh, he has just a few hits left. Alright, anyway, so good. We're good teammates.
30 seconds.
Oh no! Oh no, Jay! Steven, it's
Did
up to
it.
you.
You did it.
Nice job!
Nice, buddy.
Yay! Good job, y'all.
We added what's known as the camera date and handicap, where you got to just res me all the time.
Oh, you gotta go get.
Okay,
go
so
get Steven.
get the
Go
engineer
Steven.
part. Steven, I got you.
It's all good. Oh.
He's up.
Very nice, y'all.
All right. Let's, we got a ship to catch.
So you got
Get to the
escape.
evac
Got a
point
whole
here.
minute left. So yeah, we just gotta. Get out of here. No! Very nice.
Okay, got 20 seconds. Circle up. Ah,
Ooh. I think I lost her.
12 seconds. Get in the circle, boys.
7 seconds to get there. I guess fine.
On your feet.
Where's that evac?
Let's get on the
It's like, come on, right now. 0 seconds, go.
Made it.
Very nice. Yay. All right, 24 minutes for the first wave. Very good. Mega stress.
Yeah, that was so like that's like we've been playing this for months, right, on the team, and the thing that I mean, we can set down the empirical reasons why we like this map, why it's fun, but the fact that the team still goes back, is still staying late and playing this, and you're hearing them cheering and cussing each other out. That's what makes me like so excited about this mode, and I love that the audience is now getting in and getting the taste as well, and yeah, we're excited to see what they're able to do, and we're excited to see if they're able to uncover all the Easter eggs.
Yeah, we are not getting those. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. No, I'm
I
not.
get
I'm
it.
not giving you. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you
I
anything.
understand. Jay, just do it. Show us the way. Okay, let's see. We choose. Second, it's nice also that you can just jump in straight into a chapter.
Yep.
So we have not yet covered the third, but let's go into the second.
Yep.
Very nice.
And I'm actually going to recommend you go to your. We don't have the 4 players in, so there's not the full story elements anyway. So
the hard part. All right, let's start. Oh, stress. It's always so stressful starting the first one. I know it's like I'm gonna fail early, and it's fine.
That's
it's
fine.
Totally
That's fine.
You make mistakes and you learn.
No.
That's the beauty of it. Checking all the other streams. Again, we are on 4 streams. We are on Mixer, we are on IGN.com, we are on Twitch, we are on YouTube. So leave your comments and questions there, and Mitchell will shout them out for us.
Yeah.
So we are going to Across the Depths. The tortured path, indeed. All right, we're on a boat.
Yeah, I had a couple people on Twitter saying, "This is hard. Why is this so hard? It's taking me, a lot more work." And I don't know what to say. When you call a game the tortured path,
it's like, what do you expect?
I'm communicating from the very first 3 words that this is going to be difficult. Drop some money for him.
For him.
That's
It's,
penny for your thought.
yeah. Trying to distract him. Okay, all my friends love me. Oh, okay, I see one.
One of my favorite moments last night, I was watching, it was a crew was playing with a glitching queen, and one of them actually started getting seasick with the boat rocking back and forth.
Oh, no.
And that is a huge credit to our environment
dear.
team and our level design crew that they made the pitching and the waves and the back and forth so damn realistic that the seasickness is an actual risk you take with this one.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I just noticed that too. It's like, oh, that's what's putting me off a little bit too. I also noticed guys are jumping from up here.
Yeah. So as far as the lore is concerned, you'll hear some of this in the story as well. This is the convoy is now continuing across the southern seas with this a group of allied ships, and there's a blockade of U-boats that's come aboard, and the Nazis have figured out a way to deliver packages, just like they've been dropping from Zeppelins these kind of bombs filled with the undead. They figured a way to do that on these ships as well. They have these torpedoes that essentially latch onto the ships, open up, and allow the undead to crawl over the side. So. These are the things we have to think about when we're doing these games. We can't just say, it's a ship and here are some zombies. We've got to spend way too much time thinking about, but how did they get there?
You guys have a very solid lore over here. Yeah.
Oh, you got the instant kill.
Thank goodness.
Wonderful time to use your pistol. Or your shovel.
Huh? Wave 2 complete already. We knock these out pretty quick, and I get worried. I'm just like, no, I don't know where I'm going yet. It's like I can buy a new
I don't
weapon.
deserve level 3. What?
Yeah, it's like, wait a second. It's better this way. Okay. Jay, lead the way. Following you.
Oh, we got some more special zombies that are going to need kill with them.
I hear them breathing. Thanks. Oh, I don't want to get in here. Anytime I go in somewhere, I get out immediately. Oh, I'm going. That's cool though. Weapon damage.
It's your Kugelblitz.
No.
Some ammo
No.
for you.
Woo!
Yeah, these are we affectionately call them on the team Sizzlers. They're corpses that late into development Straub learned. Oh no, that is a resounding loss right there.
That was
The Sizzlers are there to ruin things for you. They are there to.
Wave 3. They were not messing
Because
around.
generally we're used to zombies being, even the pests are relatively not that fast. They can't run faster than you. And then, Straub figured out a way to amp up the Geistcraft and launch this onto existing zombies, and it burns them out. Like they do not have a long and happy, adult lifespan. But they're really fast while they're alive, and so yeah, that ruins people's experiences in a wonderful way.
Yeah, I'm always just like, you know what? It was the first time. Learning experience. Found some new stuff. I was swimming a little bit in a sea of blood. That's fine. Little puddle.
But what a wonderful thing to be able to say. I was swimming in a sea of blood, right?
Yeah, just a little room. It's fine. Got it going on. So lots of questions coming up now. This is the second chapter of the Tortured Path. So it is split into 3 parts.
Yep.
We're not doing a whole lot of the Easter egg stuff, unfortunately, just because secrets.
By not doing a whole lot, we mean we're doing 0 of them.
Yeah, we have the cheat code. We can't show everything. Just how it works. But we are doing our best to survive.
Well, and
wait, it's your turn.
Okay.
It's your turn now.
All right. This means I'm gonna be decidedly less clever in our conversation. So we're okay with that.
That's totally fine.
I mean, less than my medium clever anyway. All right.
I think mostly just excited to see you all survive. Yeah, people were asking, is it over? So this was our first time running through this chapter with this crew, except for Jay, because he knows secrets. So now we are switching off. Cameron is now going to play. So we got 2 people from Sledgehammer, so hopefully they'll last a little longer.
Okay, so we got
that's the last
one to kill right around.
Shotgun first off.
Yeah, that was a... Shotgun always feels like, I mean, it's not always the best thing to have in every situation, but it feels the most like true to the zombies experience sort of weapon, you know? It's if it's been in, Army of Darkness, then it's Ash approved, right? That was my boomstick. Those trucks can get all kinds of smashy.
Right, and again, we are taking questions on Mixer, Twitch, YouTube, and IGN.com, of course. Hashtag IGN Live. Y'all got questions on Twitter.
Okay.
What if the other ships are able to break free?
Some people are getting
I've divided the artifacts amongst the convoy.
Okay.
We have agents stationed to guard each of them, but this ship is the only one with
I think it was more a case of 2 design teams that had similar goals and came up with kind of similar solutions. Oh yeah, so people are getting kind of an extinction vibe from this. Totally see that because of the objectives, because of some of the setup here. And it's funny, anytime you get designers and people with trying to solve a design problem that has similar parameters, you'll get kind of some similar responses. So I don't want to say we specifically looked at extinction on this, but I can definitely see where those similarities are, and I think it's just a case of kind of some interesting cleverness there for them to have tried to hit some of those same questions we were getting.
Right, now we have another actually very good question. Comes from 10 on YouTube asks, how was the tilting boat achieved technically from the game design point? I'm very curious because it's a cool feature. Which it is.
Say again?
How was the tilting boat achieved technically from the game design point?
It was a big challenge, and we had a lot of things we wanted to do. So generally how things work at Sledgehammer is I will put together a list of everything that I want to happen, and then the engineers will tell me that I can't do 90% of those things, and with a smile on their face. I actually think they enjoy telling me that. There were originally going to be some U-boats rising and falling on different waves as well behind this, and we just due to literal lids on what we could do in the engine, we're not able to do this, and so I'm not going to give away the secrets on how that's going on, but I love that I'm hearing people talking about getting seasick. That's such a win for the team, I mean, okay, so yes, fear the zombies and also fear, yakking up your Cheetos and Mountain Dew.
Oh man, I didn't even see this part.
This is a pretty important little...
Oh, Steven. And this wave is
I will
killer.
find you!
Oh my gosh. Oh, there's a blood room.
Yeah,
that's my room.
I feel you'd really enjoy the flooring.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's like once you just kill them all, you just gotta stay together, mow them down.
Ooh, assault rifle is available. Well done.
So what were some of the things on your list that they said no to for this map in particular?
Well, the rising and falling submarines. I actually wanted like every. I wanted a. U-boats on the port and the starboard side of the ship, and then I wanted to be able to on every other wave, you could jump off and go onto either of those sides. So you kind of had to time off, but you couldn't really see them, so you kind of had to do a leap of faith to hop off onto those. And then and they were going to be like we research. We do the funnest, most like geeky research stuff for this stuff, and so I was looking into what in the end of 1945, what sort of U-boats did the German army have, and they had big ones and little ones. So I was actually going to play with like a more kind of small assault U-boat was going to be on one side, and there was going to be a larger like kind of massive one on the other side that would actually have a little path you could take around. So
that would have been so neat.
And yeah, it would have been. The funny thing is, like, we got the ship done, and just this is definitely the more cramped, claustrophobic version of this.
Yes.
And that actually, just on a design sense, opened it up a little bit too much anyway. That would have opened it up too much anyway. We really like a lot of the fear in this level is I am so trapped. I am so hosed right here.
That was me.
Yeah, exactly.
I turned around, I was like, they're just straight up. Okay.
Yep.
Here we are.
And we're like, opening it up might have actually ruined that anyway. So, the nice thing is ideas like this, you can always just put them in your, I've got a notebook that's my, 100 evil ideas. And
keep it for later,
you
maybe.
never know when that idea is going to pop up again.
Yeah. And the boat shifting sides, too, is really neat.
Oh, yeah.
It changes the
Yeah.
map.
Well, we've worked our little, sliding, smashing gun trap into this as well.
Let's see what animations we've got going on. And for the people asking, this is our second chapter of this new map. And there are 10 waves we describe. Before we can move on.
We're at 4 right now.
Tell you all about what can happen when the fog rolls in.
So there's a little joke about the fog rolling in this this map as well, which has become, Jason Blundell our brothers over at Treyarch, made that a famous line, and we just, in honor of their work and their talent, we figured we would carry on the love.
Oh, very nice. Crafty Animations asks, will the maps be available to all on survival, as a lot of people are wanting to push that 10 round limit?
First of all, Crafty, how's it going? Love your work. Talented individual. All I can say about that is like we were delightfully surprised by the reception of Groston House, which is our little survival map that we tucked in at the end of Final Reich as just kind of almost like an afterthought, and the community responded so well. So I promise you, like, having learned that lesson, and then we create these 3 little maps, do you think we're gonna just leave you guys out in the dark? But we're not gonna give it to you. We
Gotta earn it.
You gotta earn it, right? That's if you learn anything about the Sledgehammer way.
I'm gonna say, it's like that's the zombies' way. It's
Yeah,
like you don't just get things.
Like did I give you the Slayer from Morocco? No, come on. Love the dagger.
Oh. Also, continuing on with some updates here. What is playing on screen is Jay, a level designer off camera, is playing, and then we are also playing, so we are the third person.
Yeah, so his thumbs will not match my thumbs.
Yeah, so it's like,
In the
if
slides.
that doesn't make sense, that's probably why.
So we appreciate all the SVU action going on out there, and I understand that you're decoding, mystery. You're looking for an Easter egg in how my clumsy finger movements are not matching the graceful movement of the character on the screen. That is because that is all Jay.
Yeah, I feel so. What we've been doing is we've been switching off. Like if I die, switch off. If he dies or finishes it, I get back.
Yeah. It's kind of like you had to do when you and your siblings were, watching Saturday morning cartoons and decided to put on the SNES, and like you only had, the one controller, so you had to trade.
Oh, here we go.
Visions. This is where things just get a little
Very excited.
road trip to Vegas here. All right.
But yeah, so we're switching off, and I'm actually delighted to have hands off, so I can see somebody give me a tour of this map.
Yeah, this is where things get weird.
Yeah, I could. Yep. Yeah. Good and spooky.
So
I think this is when you hide in a room.
this is
back to a wall.
Yeah, but if you can find a room to hide in this level, we have failed. So story-wise, this is we were able to hijack a lot of the Geistcraft stuff from the Nazis, but we don't understand half of it, right?
Right.
And a lot of it is just like grab it and tuck it in. We'll see if we can use it when we go. There are all sorts of weird vibrations going on with this stuff, and they're now kind of resonating on a cerebral level, on the kind of the electromagnetic levels that you get in your own, cerebral cortex, and it's messing with what we're seeing and messing with what we're feeling, and even our own kind of impressions of time and space are getting completely.
And the way they move is really cool with this.
Well, we've got what looks like, I'm down. We've got some of the undead that appear to be popping in and out.
Yeah.
Like they're not even real or something.
Well.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do I still get points?
There go my places. Yes. You get it. You get it. One free sticker. A collectible sticker. I'm bleeding out, brother.
There we go. We've over. Very
Nothing
good.
better than an objective coming through as your last little drips of blood are popping up.
No?
All right.
Okay, sounds like
You
we have
tell
one
us.
more lave left. I am sad. You just stay in here. Can we put more? So any final questions you guys have, please go ahead and send them my way. Again, everyone's playing. The camera we're watching is from someone playing off screen. I think your character is Jurassic Rabbit.
Oh, okay. A little weird, but
It's a
okay.
tag. Coming up with a username for this stuff is hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's really hard.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Especially when you can't change them.
Yeah.
Huh? PlayStation? Huh? Well, just change them. So.
How dare you say something offensive to our friends over at Sony who have made
they
this
know.
entire reveal experience such a delight for us. Oh.
It's fun. No, they know. They talk about it.
Okay.
It's all good.
No, complete sarcasm and love and all of my cynicism here, of course. See, I always get worried when I'm playing with some pros and I'm like, I think I'm following the right course, and I'm like, I am all alone on the other side of the ship. I did something very, very wrong.
Oh, where's Jay?
Exactly, but Jay. And for some reason, the zombies tend to know when I'm all alone by myself.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what they do, right?
Okay. We'll slip past them.
So we have this last wave.
All right.
We have to sign off.
All right.
So what I think you should do is get a crawler. Just walk
Okay.
around for a while.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit more stories, a little bit more about the design, a little bit more secrets.
But I appreciate that you know enough of the community lingo to have suggested that. This is you just won bonus points.
Do you think he can drown in the blood?
Well, it's ankle
What's
deep,
there?
so I would
Yeah.
literally have to go face down and
Just keep kicking him down.
Exactly. But it would be interesting to actually go underwater in this level, wouldn't it?
It would be.
That guy.
I do appreciate the details as everything has been shifting, like that the water level in there.
The water is actually rising and falling on
Yeah.
this side as well.
Yeah, every side. It's very good. Oh, he's down.
Yep. Sometimes the wooslings are charitable. They're like, okay, I'll stand here.
Yeah.
You have to deal
I
with it.
appreciate them. They're like, I think my favorite of the zombies.
Yeah. Okay. And now here's something that I can share with the crew. We know that the wooslings, they're one of our favorite children, and they we know that there is a degree of frustration and even some. There's not a lot of love for them in the community, and so just so you know, the crew and I, we've been looking at ways to tune this. Now we are never going to get rid of wooslings. I mean, that is just sometimes because something is hard makes the game better in ways that are even challenging is not a bad thing. However,
Sure.
I've seen some scenes where high-end, high-level players can get to a point where they'll be like a dozen Wooslings chasing them around the level. And we're like, okay, I can see how that would feel like a lot of homework. So we're looking at doing that in one of our next updates of doing a tune. So just so you know, we're listening to you out there.
Very good to know.
And our way. See, so that's something I can share that's not Easter eggy and is vague enough so nobody's going to say, hey, I counted 12.3 Wooslings in my last fight. And you are lying for it.
No, I don't want to wrap. Okay, but I do think we have to wrap.
We gotta go?
Yeah,
Right.
thank you guys so much for coming. Jay, Cameron, really appreciate you showing us around. Of course, giving us some more insight into Call of Duty's zombie mode, because this is, of course, an awesome mode to just really dig into, and I'm super excited to see what everyone finds in the coming days.
It's a lot of fun. I think if you have not been playing zombies for a while, if you've been kind of unplugged, or we're not a fan of the slower grind that exists before, this is the mode that you're going to love. Because you can hop in real quick. There's immediate quick action. We really kind of mix it up. There's a lot of different stuff going on as well. So try it out if you haven't for a while. Those of you that are in, we will see you there. Our team is still actively sitting and watching everybody as they're going through and unsolving things. So this is a lot of fun.
So there you guys have it. You're being watched. So do your best. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And for more on Call of Duty, of course, keep an IGN.